Oh, hey, it's me. I'm making a video. Let's try this. Is this appropriate? Here we go. I'm making a video. It's been a while. I already made this video, but I'm making it again. It's gonna be, it's about starting. It's about starting stuff. Is it recording? Whew! Getting started is hard. Especially if you're like me and you want it to be perfect. Maybe not even perfect, but at least good. And maybe you don't even know what good is, but like you want it to be good. So you just like keep thinking about it. I did not plan this video on starting to, like, I didn't plan on this video starting in the shower. But as I went on a run this morning, I was just thinking, and then I came home and I ate some breakfast and I was like, I gotta take a shower. But for some reason, the moment I got into the shower, I turned it on. So now, here we are, in the shower, making a video. How to start making stuff, a video with Ken. I mean, I could do the whole video here, but I don't have my notes. I thought I had this book. I guess I don't. If you've ever read The Art of War, The War of Art, The War of Art by, I forget his name. And if you haven't, then you should. If you're watching this video, then you, because it talks about the resistance, and the resistance is what stops you from creating what you want to create. It's something that holds us back. Recognize that it's there, and whatever it is, it's probably just something inside of you. It's about fear. Read the book, whatever it's called, and learn about the resistance, because it's always going to be there in so many different shapes and forms. Number 2, and I'm not going to number all these because I'm not going to remember what number I'm on, but let's talk about the difference between just making shit and creating with purpose. Sometimes when I just get started on something, I feel like I just got to start making shit, and it's easy to think that way, but it's not the point. The point of creating something is to share something. Well, I mean, the point is whatever you want it to be, but that's the key. Like, decide why you want to do this. I have my reasons, and when I understand what that reason is, what the why is, or what the whys are for me, it's a lot easier to do it, and it's a lot easier to keep doing it. So think about what is your why. Part 2 to that other, let's call that A and this is B. Understand your craft. Your craft is what you do or how you create. And you may not know what your craft is at first, but you may find it as you go along this process. So even if you don't have a perfect handle on your why or on your craft, be aware of that and be open as you go through the journey. Think back to the times when you've been in flow. What were you doing? How did that feel good? And then explore ways that you can do that. Set time aside to do this, to explore those kind of things, and you'll find different ways that you can express yourself, and those ways are your craft. We've all heard maybe you haven't, but the Malcolm Gladwell, like 10,000 hours thing. That I struggled with that for a long time because it was like, well, what do I gotta spend 10,000 more hours doing something before I get good at it? But then I started thinking about it another way, and something clicked. This isn't about finding something and spending 10,000 hours doing it to get perfect at it. It's about finding what you've already spent 10,000 hours doing, and then just doing that. You're really good at something, and you enjoy doing it. And you enjoy doing it, which is why you're really good at it, and which is why you can keep doing it. So find what those things are, and those are probably closer to your craft, and keep developing those. And you see what I mean? If you're really struggling to think about like what you want to do or what you want to create, think about a problem that you have. There was an Instagram post about this, and I'll try to like link to it or something. Think about a problem that you have, because and recognize that it's probably a problem that other people have too, and then try to do something to help solve that problem. And I'm kind of doing that right now because I'm struggling with starting. So I'm making a video right now about starting and why it's so hard and what you can do to get started on whatever your creative journey is. Because it feels good to be creating things, but it's really hard to get started, especially if you haven't been doing it before or if you haven't been doing it for a while. So this, you know, think about a problem you want to solve, figure out a way to solve it. You'll probably end up applying whatever skills you have to solve that problem and discover things about your craft while you do that. Okay, this is important. The key here is to not make it too hard. Don't force it. Good things don't happen when we force them. This is about energy and momentum. So creativity is an automatic muscle. Sometimes you hear it's like lifting. You got to get in the reps and whatever. I obviously lift, so I can talk to you about this. I actually do lift, but it may not be obvious because I got a little bit. And getting in reps are important, but like I said, it's an automatic muscle. And so it's kind of like lifting, but it's more like breathing. You can't force it, you shouldn't force it, but you can exercise it. You can exercise your lungs by doing cardio, and it gets easier, and you're able to go farther and do more. And you will get better at it. But just like with breathing, the more you think about it, when you think about it, it gets awkward. Just like with breathing, when you think about it, it gets awkward. And that's okay. Now I'm thinking about it, so it's getting awkward. Just like with breathing, creating something. Oh, see, this is bad. Hold on a second. We're going to start over. Okay. Creativity is like breathing. The more you think about it, it gets awkward. It needs to flow. It needs to just happen. And it will if you let it. You have to give time for it, exercise it, and it will happen. Let's wrap this up. So number one, start something. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, so to start something. This isn't a conclusion. This is more like a synthesis, and it's like, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. Start small, little bits at a time. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. If you sit down, you're like, okay, I'm gonna write this screenplay, just like over a weekend, and we're gonna get it all out. It's not gonna happen. You might, but you're gonna overwhelm yourself, and you're probably not gonna want to do it again. So start writing, on a Monday night, and then write again on Wednesday, and then write the next Monday and Wednesday, and then maybe on Sunday, and then maybe you start writing like every day at a certain time. That seems to work for me. doing something like that, where you start small and you go from there. Again, it's like a muscle. You're not gonna just like go ride a 200-mile bike ride. People do that, by the way, but they don't do that after not riding because they want to work up to it. That's how, and that's how you write like a screenplay. Okay, number 2, set a schedule. Okay, I just kind of covered that, but like once you start small, you want to start putting a schedule together. I'm going to do this at this time. You'll start to find a flow. David Kadavi talks about a flow. You know, read this book that I'll put up there. He talks about, you know, having a flow that you eventually find, and you'll find a flow, and you'll start to put a schedule in your mind that I do this and this, and then I edit, and then I publish. Awesome, that's cool. Stick with that schedule. Work it consistently. Number 3, don't judge it. At least not at first. You can go back. You can judge. You can edit. You can do all these things. I'm gonna burp. I drink a lot of LaCroix. You can't smell that, so that's cool. Don't judge it, at least at first. Just let it happen. Let it come out. You can go back. You can edit. You can do all those things. When you're in the moment creating, don't judge it. Just let it happen. I hate that I just look back like that, but it's happening. So I'm gonna keep going. See, I just did it again there. Number 4, release it into the world and then start again. Maybe you want to write a novel or whatever, but I find that creating something bit by bit, releasing it, and then starting again is a good way to get started, because you can use the process as inspiration to keep creating. Maybe the next thing you create is a reaction to what you just made, or maybe to how people reacted to it, or to something that you learned while you were creating it. It's a process, right? This is an engine, and you're starting the engine, and then you're going to, it's almost improvisational. You're going to react, you're going to learn, you're going to grow step by step. And that's going to take you to the next level and help you to keep creating more. Yeah. Or maybe create something new. Maybe it's not anything related to what you did before. But I do think that kind of finally, it's important to be able to recognize what you're creating. And so setting a goal for yourself, like I want let's use the term body of work, will help you see that you're doing something and creating something that's long lasting, and it's having an effect, and you're building something. So instead of, writing a poem and then and this and that, and then trying to play guitar and all these things, create something in your mind. Say, I want to create this. Maybe I want to create a catalog of videos that express myself, that people recognize, like, oh, that's Ken, and that I hope brings value to other people by helping them understand how they can create and connect with themselves as well, and hopefully makes them a little uncomfortable, and makes them laugh too. But that's what I like to do. So if you have that in mind, the body of work that you want to create, then you'll be able to look back as you're doing it and be like, oh yeah, I am doing something, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay, so those are some thoughts on how to start creating. And see, now I did it. Now the thing is, I have to post this, and I'm going to, but I gotta edit it first. It's 18 minutes. I want it to be about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna cut it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna post it this week. Okay, that's cool. All right, so this has been how to start creating something, or how to get started with Ken. So, like and subscribe. So if you're interested in learning more, follow along, ring the bell and shit, and we'll keep doing this. All right, peace out. Good to talk to you.